Before we start, make sure to comment on who you want next. Today's episode is Blunder. So Blunder is a Pokemon Showdown YouTuber, and that's kind of self-explanatory. He plays Pokemon Showdown, and he is known for being very good at the game. So before we start talking about Blunder and what makes his channel better than a lot of the Poketubers out there, let's start by talking about this notion in the Pokemon community that basically, in order to succeed, not even succeed, but be appealing, you have to have a very high, strong, defined, enthusiastic, high-pitched voice, you know. And Blunder takes that notion and just shatters it. Basically, this is me just saying he has a very nice, deep voice. Once again, it's nice, calming, and soothing to listen to, and he definitely complements it with the background music he uses. And I think his voice and the music thing definitely plays a big reason to why people watch him and why he's better than some Poketubers out there. Alright, next thing I want to talk about is his personality. This is what truly sets him apart. So most Pokemon Showdown YouTubers, they talk more or less like saying stuff like, "Good play to my opponent, unfortunately I got hacked." Basically, they're very humble, you know, down to earth and stuff, and that's not a bad thing. But Blunder is, I don't want to say a complete 180, but very close to a complete 180. He's definitely more on the cocky side if we're comparing him to other Poketubers. Basically, the vibe you get from him is that he truly believes in every single game that he's in that he is the better Pokemon Showdown player. Like, just watch any one of his videos and I guarantee you will pick up on that vibe quick. Next thing I want to talk about is the collabs that Blunder takes part in. Now, just from a general YouTube standpoint, just going outside of Poketubing, collabs are obviously good for a channel, and Blunder definitely does plenty of them. Off the top of my head, the only person that not the only person, but the only person that I remember that he collabs with is Joey Pokeaim. Is that his channel name? I think it is. So yeah, and in these collabs, it's more than just a "you're popular, I'm popular, let's be popular together in one video" type of collab. You could definitely tell within these collabs, like, there's genuine chemistry. Like, you could tell that he's probably good friends with the people that he collabs with. So, moving on from that, I want to talk about, this is kind of like the main reason why I decided to make this video. The agency. The agency, it's clever on every single spectrum that I can think of. It's, first of all, the agency just, it sounds cool. But going beyond that, it's like a really good marketing scheme, or like good way to get people to subscribe. Once again, you know, because of this cool, chill, you know, deep voice dude that's doing all this shit, and you know, way he talks and whatnot, it makes people want to be part of the agency. They want to be considered an agent. They want to be part of the agency and everything that it stands for. This is a good thing, but this is a bad thing. I'll get into the bad part later, but for now, all I gotta say is it's really clever. Once again, it's just smart on every single way that I could think of. So I don't know if he came out the moment that he made his channel. I don't know if he came up with the agency recently, or if it's just something that he had since the beginning of his channel. Regardless, I would like to say huge props to Blunder, and yeah, apparently the Poketubers I review actually watch these things. So yeah, big shout outs to you, man. Really smart thinking. Alright, so now we're gonna get into the bad. So with the agency, and the way Blunder acts, obviously being cocky, reassuring. Basically, this just comes from a Reddit thread that I saw like 3 days ago. And it was talking about toxicity within the Pokemon Showdown OU ladder and the community in general. And something I noticed was Pokemon Showdown salt things were mentioned, but that didn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't get how that promotes toxicity. Someone explained to me in the comments. but I also saw Blunder mentioned quite a bit. And people were saying the way he acts, his fan base acts like that. And it just creates toxicity by doing that. Now, I don't know if this is true. I'm not saying it's true, but I'm not saying it's false. All I'm saying is, I don't know, but if it is true, that's kind of a bad thing. But I'm not going to take points off of that because what do you expect him to do? He can't control every single one of his fans. Alright, so this is like an actual critique. I just felt like the last thing just needed to be said. We're going to talk about his thumbnails. I don't want to say lackluster because that feels a bit too harsh, but I definitely feel like, once again, with every other Poketuber I reviewed, he could step his game up with the thumbnails for sure. My main problem with them is they're kind of like, the formatting and structure of them are really inconsistent. And once again, that's just a personal me thing. But once again, if you guys also have a problem with that, just let me know down below. But I definitely think if he just finds a more consistent style, and personally for me, like a better background to use, I think he'll be good to go, honestly. Last thing is, his videos are super long. Now, I'm not actually gonna take points off for this, believe it or not, because if you've ever recorded a showdown live, you realize that 10 to 15 minutes is like not enough to get good, clips and whatnot. You really do have to go 30 to 40 minutes in order to truly get some good battles and get stuff that's content worthy. Now on to the rating. Alright, I'm going to give Blunder a 7.4 out of 10. Once again, I definitely think he's above a 5. He's definitely above average in the Poketubing world, I guess. But I don't think he's worth it 8 yet. Once again, like the problems I mentioned before, especially the thumbnails. If he can get those thumbnails up, and if he could really make them really, really good, I definitely think he could be like a high 8, maybe even a 9. But that's pretty much it. Also, another reason why I'm kind of knocking him down a bit to 7.4 is because if you are not very well versed in competitive battling, you may feel a bit insecure, From what I've heard, it's kind of the way he presents his content. I'm not saying this, don't quote me on this. I've heard that it's not really welcoming to newer players and people in the Pokemon community. I don't know if that's true or not, but regardless, that's my final rating, 7.4 out of 10. Besides that, I highly recommend this channel. Please go check it out. I probably should be leaving these channels in the description, but just search it up, Blunder. It's super simple. Besides that, make sure to watch some more videos, but above all else, have a good day.